Hello and welcome everybody back to the video. I'm your SimCFI, which means I'm your flight instructor for any sim purposes. You have a question on Microsoft P3 or DCLS, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer best I can. In saying that, I'm also a real-world CRJ pilot, so I fly the RJ900. If you have questions on the airplane and or how to fly real world, get PPL, stuff like that, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer as best I can as well. Today I've been sent a minimized overhead panel by PU Air Korea. So it's a company out of Korea, and to my understanding, they used to be airline pilots, and they fell into the aviation flight simulation side of things and started making hardware. So they sent me their minimized autopilot panel. We'll be taking a look at this in the sim. I kind of show you a little bit of how I mapped this manually to the CRJ, which is the plane I use. And that was with MobiFlight. So MobiFlight, you can make all the profiles you want. Takes a little bit of time, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. So let's get into the review here. As you can see, we have these switches. You can map these to anything you like. They're labeled strobe and nav and stuff, but you can map them to whatever you want in the airplane. So we'll get into it here. As you can see, they also provide these white and red little caps that you can put over the switches if you want to make them for like a Cessna or something like that. The RJ, I'm going to leave them all silver. For scale, this is a Death Adder V2 Pro Razer mouse. That's kind of how long / wide it is. It's about the width of the mouse and about maybe 5 miles long. I'll click some of the switches so you guys can hear the switch sounds, so we'll get into that now. You can see everything has a nice quality feel, and I'm having to hit these switches quite hard actually to move them, which I like a lot. Okay, so we're in MobiFlight now, and I can leave this link in the description for you how to download MobiFlight. It's free. And what we're going to do is we're already in my CRJ FCP profile, but I'm going to just attach to this. We're going to go to Inputs. Outputs would be like if you need to display something on a screen or make a light turn on, something like that. But we're going to go to Inputs. We're inputting to the device. These are all my autopilot stuff, and I also have down here, which I didn't label yet because I don't really want to right now, but are my PU Korea minimize overhead panel settings. So let's say I wanted to make a new setting. Let's say I wanted to set the strobe light, which is already up top, but let's say we want to make a new one. So I'm going to click that. I'll call it strobe or whatever you want. Then go all the way to the right over here. You're going to scan for input and just click the button you want in question. So I picked it up, PU Autopilot add-on button 12. On press, we want it to do an action of Microsoft Flight Sim. We want Aerosoft, in this case, CRJ, lights. So Aerosoft, basically pick the plane, pick the system you would like to go through, and then it gives you this drop-down of all the things. So strobe light's right here. So on press, we want strobe light on. On release, we go back to the same thing, Microsoft, Aerosoft, CRJ, lights, and we want strobe release or strobe off. And the way it'll work now is every time I click a switch or every time I turn the strobe on, it'll turn on. Then on release, once it doesn't sense it's on, it'll put the strobe switch off, is how we've set that up. What I recommend doing for setting multiple bindings, make sure it's check marked as well. What I recommend doing is highlighting the binding. If you need multiple lights to make, Control C and then Control V and do this a million times, because now you can go back in here, press the side, scan for input, and set your beacon light. All right, now it's button 4, and then just go find beacon, and on release, go find beacon off, and you can just do that a million times. So much easier than having to go through Microsoft, Aerosoft, CRJ, and lights and all that stuff every single time. All right, guys, so as you can see, we're now in the jet, loaded up. And I have set this MobiFlight profile for the CRJ. So we're going to go in the flight deck. And I'm going to bring you over to the overhead panel. Now, I couldn't get everything, obviously, to match up because it's just a different layout. But I basically labeled nav light to be nav light and so on. So they're labeled, they made it be in a different order, but I put them to the label just to make it easier. But if I wanted to use the beacon, I can just reach up here to the beacon switch, press it on. That works no problem. Nav lights and strobe lights. Our landing light, I have it mapped that it just does the single landing light. So if I click it, it does the single one. I may map these two to the others, but I also just use that for the taxi light. So I kind of like to have that by itself, to be honest. So I'm going to see what I'm going to do with these, but that's how I have it so far. And I might remap them to change where down is on, kind of the way that it is in the airplane. But we'll see. That's little stuff. I have the belts mapped as well. So if I go over here to the seat belts, I have it set that I can go belts auto or belts on. We only really use belts off if it's a on the shutdown. So auto or on, and then the smoking I have basically on or off. Again, we never really use auto in smoking because you're never allowed to smoke. Lastly, I have the wing anti-ice mapped as well, so that's just right there too. So I'll turn, let's pretend we're doing a lineup check. So I'm going to go over to the, let's go turn that one on. There we go. So let's say you're lining up on the runway and, you know, you're just turning onto it. And now instead of having to look away from your sim, you can steer the airplane in the right direction and just go ahead and turn your strobe lights on. And then once you're clear takeoff, without having to look away from the runway as well, you can just go ahead and click the landing light on. So that's pretty much the ease of use of it. I'm going to say that if you're brand new to flight simming, none of these panels, like I have an Airbus one below it and everything, none of that is really useful to you if you're brand new. However, if you're a hardcore flight simulator or a flight simmer, and you already have like a yoke and a rudder and stuff, this can add a different depth to your flight sim in terms of, especially if you do a lot of GA stuff. This is kind of a general panel which you can map this to anything, so it adds a different dynamic to it. And to me, the more you can get away from having to hold your mouse, look somewhere and click something, the better. And for the price point that PU Air Korea has put this at, which is I believe 99 US, I believe it's an absolute steal. If you're looking for a panel like this, the quality is great. Every switch has a nice physical like click to it, and it takes a lot of force to get it to move, at least enough force. Especially the rotary dials as well have a nice click to them as well. So if you're looking for just a minimized overhead panel with just some switches on it that you can map to whatever you want, or you can follow the guides listed above there as well, you can do that. Sorry about the lighting, by the way. Those are what the lights look like. They look really good actually at nighttime when there's no sunlight outside. So anyways, I hope that makes your decision to purchase this system a bit easier. I'll leave a link to PU Air Korea down and below. I'll also leave a link to MobiFlight down below as well, so you can go ahead and make your profile. And I might actually copy my CRJ profile and paste it in a separate MobiFlight file, and I can send that there too, so you guys can just download it and have it working. I don't have all the switches mapped out yet, for reasons of, as you can see here, it says probe. I'm leaving this out because this is part of my after start flow. Window heat, again, part of the flows. So I'm just leaving the stuff I do out of flows out of there for the most part. Also because this is a single switch and there's two probe switches, and same with this one. So same with engine. So I'd have to have two of these. But maybe I can make those cowls. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna turn these into engine cowl left and right. That's what I'm gonna do with that. So either way, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for PU Air Korea to send this to me. I really appreciate that, and I hope our partnership can go further as well down the line. So hope to see more from them in our channel. If you guys do decide to pick this up, please leave this down in the comment that you did. If this video helped you decide on to get it or not, it's a pretty great price as well. It's pretty unbeatable. I really haven't seen a panel like this for that cheap, really, and it's not cheaply made. It's just cheaply priced. Again, it does come with these red and white little caps, so you can put on each switch if you'd like to make it a bit more like if you're flying a Cessna, the standby power in a 172 has the red, I believe, from memory, and you can put that on there. So whatever you like to do with that. thank you guys again for watching. Please like if you liked it, comment what you learned or what you liked from the video, and subscribe for more. Thank you, Pierre Korea, and we'll hope to see you guys in the next video. Real quick before I end the video, I thought I'd give you a shot at nighttime. I walked in my apartment and saw that, so I thought it was pretty cool looking. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.